Server Shortcake Summertime Adventures, the game that the developers do not want credit for and they don't want to be associated. This game, strange choice overall. It starts you off making you think that there's just a bake-off coming up and you have to just prepare. That's the only thing that they're giving you. They set you up to believe it's a side-scrolling platformer, so you go from Strawberry's house to the first level, which is the apple orchard. Now, the apple orchard doesn't tell you the mechanics of the game. It makes you figure out, okay, you can jump on the barrels to get up, and the yellow apples, the yellow one, hurts you. I didn't know this until like halfway through this apple orchard. These. Okay. We got so many apples already. There's some kind of thing right here. Oy! What? It can hit me through it? I didn't know that. Oh, the squirrel's throwing things at me. He's throwing big fat acorns. How did I not see that? Oh! Why are some of these apples... Oh, the yellow apple's bad. We don't want those. After we visit the apple orchard, it takes us straight into this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory weird-ass river that you're collecting marshmallows, and it sets you up thinking that because the apples hurt you in the last one, the yellow apples, that surely the spurts of chocolate coming out of the river are gonna hurt you too. But that's only kind of the case. Augustus Gloop, Augustus Gloop, Augustus Gloop you, and then come poop. There's this. No chocolate! No chocolate milk! Parkour! Immediately after the chocolate river is Orange Blossom's house, and she basically wants us to give her all of the apples and strawberries. She took the journey that, like, when you ask an older person about how they used to go to school as a kid, and they're like, I had to cross through the treacherous apple orchard and the river of chocolate that could kill you. Right after Orange Blossom's house is Angel Cake, who I wanted to call Lemon Meringue. Sorry. Oh, she's not good? Well, we didn't ask that. You're supposed to say fine when people ask you how you're doing, even if you're not really fine. She begs us, basically for help, and throws Pupcake under the bus because she has bad time management skills, didn't plan appropriately for the bake-off, and now Strawberry is blaming herself? We need video. Can you take your Ring camera footage and show us Pupcake eating all of your frosting? Because it sounds like you're failing to plan and planning to fail, and you just need an excuse. What? How's it? Strawberry, don't blame yourself. This is not at all your fault. Throughout the game, there's these strawberries hidden through different parts of the levels, and when you collect them on screen on the right corner, you'll see a power-up will appear, and the game doesn't tell you what these do. It's like, here's something interesting to look at, and you might as well figure it out. Oh, that's a strawberry! We have to get those. Why is it telling me there's a flute? What does the flute mean? Salutations, Strawberry! Huh? Oh, that's such a funny reaction. Oh, sorry, it's a big word that just means hello. Is she Lemony Snicket? Well then, salutations, Blueberry. Blueberry Muffin's the name. Smells so good around here. Are those fresh muffins baking? Always. What do you mean, always? Do you just have, like, infinite electricity? We end up at Blueberry Muffin's house. So she's new in town and she decides that she needs to be the smartest person in the room, and she's trying to lecture us on using words, but she's doing it in the wrong way. See, that's not the right word. Superlative? Huh? I mean, that sounds like fun. She didn't even use the word right. You can't be educating people and using the wrong word. Strawberry Land fruit rating system? I'll need a blueberry rated 8 or higher. What are you, PSA? Submit my blueberries for grading? Imagine just mailing a blueberry to PSA, be like, can you grade this for me? Blueberry sends us on a quest, tells us that we have to grow a PSA 8 blueberry in our garden, which kind of hints at the ranking system, but again, if you're a small child, you're just going to see, okay, let me keep going. And when you keep going, you get into a level that's about collecting blueberries. So why would you think you have to do anything else? Right after this blueberry level, we end up at Ginger Snap's house, who asks that we give her some fruit so that she can make Strappleburst juice for us. We then end up going to a bramble forest, and there's a ton of bubbles that are coming out of the ground, and it's a short level. It's very weird. At least there's nothing that can hurt us in this level, though. Oh, oh, she's frozen in a running position. Why are you running? Why are you running? The bridge. Right after the Bramble Forest Bridge, we end up at this Rainbow Sherbet girl's house. Boat? Sorry, not a house. Houseboat. And then Huckleberry Finn is there with her, and he is mentioning that we have to go take the hot air balloon to get up the mountain and collect a whole bunch of stuff, and he goes skateboarding on top of the mountain. Howdy, you must be Strawberry. Why does the Rainbow Girl have a country accent? I love meeting new people. Extrovert activities. But I can't let you go without giving you something too. Here are sherbet spooners for your garden. Don't call them that. Once we're in the hot air balloon, we have to get what I keep calling the popcorn because I didn't remember what it was called. And we have to keep dodging some green snot boogers that rain from the sky. Once you get to the very top of the clouds, it takes you into a parkour level, and the game is pretty forgiving given that it's for children. It doesn't just send you back down to the hot air balloon level if you fall. It takes you on a cloud right back up to where you fell off. It was like, you didn't even notice. What we believe to be the last level, and if you played this as a child, probably was your last level, is the mountain skateboarding where you have to jump over a ton of gumdrops and a Tony Hawk style gameplay, which was very unexpected, very strange. This part, the game was moving such a wonky way, and there's so many things on the screen that you just can't tell what's going on. And if you fall a certain number of times, it actually starts you back from the beginning of the level. There's so many colors on this, it's hard to keep up with what's going on. It makes me feel like I'm blind. Whoa, motion sickness. Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk games and Strawberry Shortcake have more in common than we thought. Do a ollie. The game made us think that we're playing a side-scroller, then randomly decides to take us back to Angel Cakes. So this becomes problematic because if you keep going to the right, you're always going to end up hitting Orange Blossom's house before you hit Angel Cake. So that means all of your apples and strawberries are going to be taken by Orange Blossom before you can get to Angel Cake and before you can get to Ginger Snap. So you're never going to complete the checklist items to make it to the bake-off. When you finally go back to Strawberry's house, if you go a little bit to the left towards the gate, you end up in the game mode for the garden. Now, there's no direction to this part of the game. I needed a strategy guide for this. They don't explain anything about what the power-ups do, so of course I used all the power-ups thinking I needed to use them. How the garden actually works is that there's two meters. There's the sweetness meter in pink and the hydration meter in blue. If you don't apply the weed killer to the plants, weeds will grow out in yellow, and you basically need to just use the watering can, the fertilizer, and the weed grower. Weed killer, excuse me. And alternating. And then you can actually get a score above 0. It's rated as 0. One thing that I thought was really funny while reading the guide online was that this person said that they went to the original manual and that didn't even explain how to use the power-ups or what things were for. They mentioned that the power-ups were used mostly for the gum berries, which you acquire through jumping up on a hidden ledge in the apple orchard, and the other berry that you get post-bake-off. This guide starts to mention in all caps that you should not save the game and come back to it with a password, because there is a bug in the game. You will never clear the checklist, you will never make it to the bake-off, and you will never beat the game. I just think that's more evidence that the developers did not care about this game. The game doesn't even tell you how to leave the garden. I was hitting random buttons on my GameCube controller trying to figure out how to leave, and I accidentally found the menu options. The menu is a game changer because you have the map, which takes you through scene selection, so you can actually choose which location you want to go to, which solves our orange blossom angel cake strawberry issue. There's the inventory, so you can see how many berries you collected, and there's the checklist, which tells you what you're supposed to do in the game. Bring Angel 50, so I'm gonna need a lot more strawberries. Grow rated 8 blueberry and bring it to Muffin. So let me go to Angel, otherwise if I go straight from the map, Orange Blossom will take all my strawberries. Once you complete the checklist items and you end up at Ginger Snap's house, she mentions that the map is the fastest way to get to the bake-off. So if you didn't accidentally figure out what button you need to hit to get to the map, you're screwed. You can't go to the bake-off. You probably powered off the game, you went to eat dinner as a kid, you come back, nothing is saved. Or you save it, thinking that you just have to go to the bake-off, and then you can never get to the bake-off. Nothing. So I guess I'm ready. The game spent all this time building up hype around the bake-off. You finally get there on the map, and it is so underwhelming. The music is the same. There's no special music, there's no special dialogue options, it's just all the characters together, and Strawberry is standing in front of Huckleberry Finn, so you cannot even see him. What the heck? Absolute doodly. Absolutely doodly? Huh? It's a word that's not a word. This girl is gaslighting people. She moves to the town, starts making things up. I knew that. I was just joking. No, Strawberry, you're not a liar. That's not a real word. And then once you beat the bake-off and they all celebrate and cheer, it takes you back into the beginning of the map. You walk through and there's no game credits. Nothing to say you won or congratulations or this is over, thanks for playing. Nothing. So would I recommend this game to anyone? No. Would I recommend this game to Strawberry Shortcake fans? No. This game was just a game that was meant to supplement a toy line, get a game out there for the franchise. The Guerrilla Studio, and I'm calling them out, their developers did not want their name on this game. There's no ending credits. This was published in 2004. It's just bad. I'd like to know what happened behind the scenes to make the game this bad of a game.